Fantastic Four First Steps comes out in theaters in a couple weeks. I wanted to review this really amazing one-shot issue of the Fantastic Four. So why I say this is amazing is Marvel does not bleed its movies into the comics. And to some degree, they've really fucked up where the MCU in a lot of ways. If you don't know, Marvel's main universe in the comics is 616. Well, they decided to set the mainline Marvel movie universe in 616. So that means the comics, as they stand, can never cross over with the MCU, which I didn't think they ever would. But it was just always kind of cool to think that the comic books were all in their own separate universe. And then it's also like, there's all these characters that don't get a lot of expansion. There's little plot holes that Marvel will probably never resolve in a movie and can maybe never actually truly resolve in a movie, but could easily be resolved or, figured out in a comic, but they don't do that. So this is really the first time I can remember Marvel going all out and actually putting out a comic. Now, this is not a full comic. Like I said, this is a one-shot issue, which if you don't know what that means because you don't collect comics, one-shots are a one-issue storyline or thing that, it doesn't, there's no other issues to collect. So you don't have to, you don't have to collect 5 different issues of Supergirl, right, to read all of Supergirl. You just need to collect that one. That's the one shot. So same thing here. This is running about $5. Picked this. It just released today at the time of recording this video. This is the standard cover, but I'm sure there are variant covers. Here's the back. This is a pretty cool comic. So you got this letter here at the very beginning from Future Foundation. And basically what this comic book shows is the Fantastic Four getting their powers, kind of learning to work together as a team, and fight their first villain, which actually was Mole Man, which is pretty cool, because he's probably going to be referenced in this movie, I believe. I've heard that rumor, not certain, I haven't seen the movie yet. But that's pretty cool. And yeah, this is a really great comic because it feels very 1960s in style, which is great because it's Fantastic Four. And this movie, if you don't know, is being set in the 1960s. It's got lots of cool ads in here. Here's one for the Johnny Storm Hearts Club. An ad for the Fantastic car. Very 1960s. So, here's a kind of a, where's it at? Here's a newspaper thing with, read. So, I think this actually does add things to the movie. It's not gonna, make the movie better, but, well, I think it does. Give you a little more understanding of some of these characters. But, it's not necessary that you read to understand the movie. Marvel would never do that. They'd never make it so you have to read a comic to understand the movie. But it is something that I think does add to the movie and is worth a read. And if you're excited about this movie like I am, it's worth the pickup. So check that out. And if you want to see more comic reviews, let me know. I'm always kind of looking at what's out there, what to review. I just don't tend to do it a lot. But I thought this one was definitely one I had to do a video on because this is such a great thing that I want to see more from Marvel. Don't understand why Kevin Feige does not work to make that happen because, they definitely wear their comic book influences on their sleeves in the MCU, but they also don't embrace the comic books enough. And this is a great example of how they could be doing a better job.